Hi everybody, it's Margaret here with 60 and Me, enjoying my English breakfast tea this morning and hope that you're doing great. Have a cup of tea or coffee and let's sit down and talk about something that probably most of us are thinking about at one level or another as we reach our 60s, and that is retirement, the R word. Now, some people are being forced into retirement due to the pandemic and other situations. Others are making a conscious choice that it's time, that you've done enough working for your lifetime, that you're going to do some other things for you. Now, Rita Cole is one of our bloggers, and she wrote this article on 20 fun things to do in retirement. And read her article because it's really inspiring, and I think that she covers just about every base. And if you're considering retirement immediately, or you're thinking about it like maybe 5 or 10 years down the line, or like me, maybe never even planning to ever retire, but maybe to try to fit in some other of these fun retirement activities. But she talks about her own situation, which was she was forced into early retirement, and that's not always the best way to do it, because you need, well, we've talked about this many times on 60 and Me, to be prepared financially, emotionally, psychologically. You've got to really be ready to, almost feel like it's your decision. It's not something that somebody else is putting on you. But, if that happens, well, then it happens and we have to deal with it. So how are we going to get the most out of our retirement? What are some of the 20 things that Rita suggests that you might want to consider? Now, one for me is travel. Now, maybe that's your thing as well. And right now, yes, there's challenges. There's challenges as I'm recording this video with travel, but it doesn't mean that you can't do small trips, you can't do local trips, and plan for that bigger trip that you really are looking forward to in the future. Maybe you've got some sacred, mysterious, magical place that you've always wanted to go to, the Taj Mahal. You want to go to Machu Picchu. Well, maybe not this year, but you can start planning for it. And in the meantime, you can do some things that are a little bit less extreme. Like, for example, trains. I don't know where you live there are trains, but I love train journeys, short or long. And recently, in fact, just the other day, I went on a train trip, which was kind of a little mini Orient Express. It was on a vintage train that had been renovated and restyled to be like a 1930s magical. And I'm looking behind me at my flowers and the sun shining. It's like there's a glow around me, but it's all good. And I hope that creates an atmosphere. But anyway, day trips, cruises, things that you can do just in a simple day. Go into the city if you live near one and just, stop at a local bakery, pick up something lovely to eat, grab a cup of tea or coffee, and go sit down somewhere and enjoy it. Make it a special day. Feel like a millionaire, as many people feel. If you're just struggling with retirement, trying to keep a budget, trying to cut back on things that maybe you can't do anymore without a full-time paycheck coming in, do the little things that make a big difference. So travel is one thing. Maybe you can just start something that you're going to continue over the years, like visit all 50 states in the United States. We'll start with the local ones. A lot of people are doing road trips during this pandemic time, and so maybe that's something you can consider too, if travel is one of those things you really were looking forward to in retirement. Another thing is just in general to step out of your comfort zone. Do something that you've never done before. It doesn't have to be something big. It can be just trying some new style of food, or reading a new style of book or topic. Be a lifelong learner. I think that's one of the retirement goals that I've certainly got, is to learn new things all the time. And there are TED Talks, there are podcasts, blogs, all kinds of things online that we can now take advantage of. And so maybe that's something that you'd like to consider. Step out of your comfort zone. Don't wait until you're skilled or knowledgeable in a topic. Just learn it and do it. Learn a new hobby. That's always something that we talk about. And again, it doesn't have to be something that's predictable, like, learning how to knit or sew or quilt or write or paint. It doesn't have to be something really dramatic at all. It can be just something, like even learning a piano, how to play an instrument, but not perfectly. I mean, you're never going to, unless you practice, 10 hours a day. But do something like gardening. Cooking. I mean, maybe there's some kind of cooking that you've always wanted to know how to do. It doesn't have to be a big deal, just something that is a hobby that you get up in the morning and you look forward to doing it. It's something that inspires you and makes you feel like, yeah, this is a reason for waking up and getting on with this day. It can be scrapbooking. A lot of people do legacy work, where you investigate the history of your family. That's always very cool too. And there are so many online tools now that you can do this with, and it's so it's a lot of fun. Okay, clean, declutter. That's another idea. I mean, maybe everyone's going, come on, I don't want to do that. That's not any fun, but it can be fun. And I have another website that I work on called Learn to Simplify. It's one of my side projects, and I did it really for myself more than anything, but a lot of women are enjoying the ideas there from my own experience. So, doing your picture organizing, or, just downsizing your clothing, or all those things that are in your garage that don't belong to you. There's things that you've been saving for a what-if scenario. Try to get simplification as a way of life. Minimalism is something that helps to, I think, clarify your purpose, your direction in retirement. And I don't know, it just seems like a lot of fun to me. Maybe I'm an unusual person, but I love to downsize. I take a little basket of things to our charity shop almost every other week. It's just fun. And I like to share. I like to share things that were important to me that then somebody else can enjoy. Volunteering, that's always something that you can do in retirement. I'm not going to get through all the 20 of these, am I? Write, even if you only read it yourself. Do your life story, go back to the beginning that you can remember, and just write it down. That's always a fun thing. Social organizations, there's so many of them. Now, I know that meetups and those types of things are a little bit hard at the moment, but they won't be forever. So start one yourself. If you don't find something with a group of like-minded people, just try to build something yourself. Another thing to remind you is to remember your family. And I know it can be tricky. We've talked a lot about this on 60andMe recently, and it's kind of not surprising, but just overwhelming to me how many people have been, involved in family separations and estrangement, and it's hard. I know that, and I'm not trying to minimize it at all. But if you can do anything to connect with a family member, close or far, it doesn't have to be an immediate family, a cousin or an uncle or an aunt or someone that had a part in your life, but has become a little distant. So remembering your family is one that Rita calls out in retirement, and I think that's a fair comment. I mean, even if it's not perfect, you can celebrate yourself in any way that you like. Celebrate your accomplishments, make a list of all the wonderful things that you've done in your life, and just pat yourself on the shoulder, say good job. I mean, you did fail at some things, no doubt. You made mistakes, didn't we all? But you've got things to celebrate. Another thing is to mentor. Lots of mentoring opportunities. You spent years learning a skill or in an industry. There's probably plenty of things you can do to teach someone else how to make the most of that time in their life. And, sometimes we forget, I think, how much we've learned in our 60 years. I mean, how many things we've managed to do through learning or through experience. And mentoring is a really cool way to give back. Another thing that a lot of women like to do, and I think most people do, is to find your spiritual connection. Asking that question, who am I? What is my purpose, and how can I share it? And I think that connecting with those spiritual roots and asking yourself, why are you really here? What have you done, or what can you do that's really important to you? And so spiritual awareness, spiritual connection, I think is number 12 on Rita's list. And by the way, I will leave you the link to the article so you can read all these 20, because there's a lot. Stay fit. Take an interest in reading in retirement. I just read a children's book that was recommended to me. It was called The Wild Robot. And it was like a 60-page book, and it's totally readable. But it was such a good book. And I never in a million years would have read that book, except that someone had suggested it, as an idea for a child. And I read it. It was gorgeous. It was such a lovely book. So read. Find a part-time job. That may be something that you want to do, and maybe just the thing that you need to meet people, contribute back in an area perhaps that you know something about, or just have fun. The retail world can be tiring, and but it's a fun place. Bookstores, record stores. Is there such a thing anymore? I don't know, but I know bookstores for sure. But just places where you can go and be close to the things that you love to do. What else? Take civic involvement. seriously, if you've got a cause that's important to you, if it's climate change, if it's sustainability, if it is just improving or enhancing a system of regulation, something that's been on your mind, something you think that you feel strongly about, the women's movement, lots of different things that you can associate yourself and make a difference. Really, really make a difference. 17 is have a second childhood. Play games is the next one. Just enjoy this time. No one's judging. No one's looking at you and thinking, this is crazy. I had a woman the other day who left a note on our YouTube channel saying that she's invested in a series of collection of crowns, and she puts her crowns on and goes to the door to meet people with her crown, and people laugh and smile, and she's like, so this is great, so what? Don't be feeling that you're judged by anybody. And even if you are, it's their problem and not your problem. Create a bucket list. There's always things you want to do when and if, when I have money, doesn't matter. Just make the list and then modify it as you go. And of course, there is the 20th one, which is start a business. And I did that in my 60s. I'm 72 now. And 8 years and almost 9 years ago, 60andMe had its first blog with 3 viewers. Now we have 150,000 on YouTube, which I'd suggest you check out, by the way. And also Instagram. I'm on Instagram. It's 60andme_. Remember that little underscore line, not dash, but underscore, because someone else took the name 60andme. So 60andme_, and that's on Instagram, and of course Twitter, Facebook. We're all over. And if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. Give it a thumbs up at least, so that we know that the algorithm on YouTube will share it. And just know that I respect and love you all so much, and hope that you're having a great day. And I'm just conscious of that shining flower behind me. I'm wondering if it's taking on a life of its own there. But wherever you are in this world, have a lovely day, and we'll talk again soon. Bye-bye for now.